All right. Hello. I hope everyone is doing well today. I'm sorry I'm slightly late. I took a walk with the dogs because I figured I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be, prepared. I'm gonna have that done early, so they don't need to bother us during the stream. And then I came back slightly later than intended because I found I ran into another woman with a Labrador and they wanted to say hi. So of course, had to pet that dog. And I'm slightly late, and then I came home, was like, I still have time, it's great, I still have 10 minutes. And then I opened Restream only to see that accounts have somehow disconnected, so I had to like go in and reconnect all the accounts, and I'm like, almost on time. Almost on time. But hello, it's good to see you all. I know it's been a week now since, or 2 weeks actually, since the last stream. Exactly, can I pet that dog? That was me out on a walk. And other people seeing me with my dogs as well. But it's good to see you. I'm doing good. I'm actually doing really good because like today I wrapped up because it's been incredibly busy. Like as you can imagine, Almir is left. Like it's been a lot for me to do. Today I wrapped up like one of my big things that had like a deadline on it. And now it's, smooth sailing until like the big vacation, which is happening in a week and a half. So hi C-Box. C-Box, I saw your message. I saw the Twitch whisper. However, because my Twitch work account does not have a phone number tied to it, I could not respond to you, but it has been done. But it's not letting me tell you in whispers that it's done, but it's done. So, but yes, but actually, it's kind of great actually that we are streaming today because, while I have wrapped up one big thing, I have another big thing that I'm gonna pick up working on next. And one of my next big things that I really want to look at and take care of is how do we do streaming? And this is where I want you to be involved in this too, because we stream every week. We have done so sometimes more times per week when we still had Almir on the team. And I would like to hear from you with how do we think that we should keep doing this in the future, because we've done a lot of changes over the years. Like we have now, news with devs, heists with devs, depending on if you can expect news today or not, and today's no heist with, so there's no news. But I still would like to hear from you with what do you want to see from streaming going forward, because that's gonna be my next thing that I'm gonna sit down and work on and dig in. I'm planning potentially a bit of a big rebrand in around September, for the anniversary of Payday 3, but I still would love to have you guys involved in that, because that's going to be, my thing going forward is going to be the streaming and how we handle that. And yes, Vomandas, we are working on the game. We're doing a lot more thanks to our new CEO. We've been able to do some pretty cool things for Payday again. I mean, we got to do an update with less than a month in between, or was it exactly a month maybe? Moment says, please keep it at least once a week. Got it. Got it. I do that so often that I start typing. I want to press this really long thing and I fat finger my enter button and it's half a message. But yes, I am having a good day. Thank you, Scooby-Doo. You think the weekly dev blogs should come back? So yeah, from when we did Operation Medic Bag, right? You want the weekly blogs. Do you still find value of those, even though if we don't have any new topics? Because that's the main reason we stopped doing them every week, is that it was really hard and a lot of work for our team to come up with things to write about. Because we actually wanted to make sure that if we do, a weekly dev blog, that we can create some kind of value in it. And for streaming, I definitely still have the same mindset. I still do, even though I don't have anything news related or something. I still want to go live because I think it's really important to have this at least 1 hour where, we can just sit here and chat and it's live and, unfiltered to a degree at least. I like this interaction every week and I hope you do too. You want at least one collab to have content for Payday 3. Same, the Watt Mage, same. I really hope that now that Payday 3, I definitely feel like Payday 3 is on an upwards trend right now. So hopefully that means that we can very soon also actually be able to do some collabs on our side. I've been thinking about that, Nixki, just chatting with devs. I've been thinking about that because especially for me, I tend to yap a lot. And I would love to maybe have a separate one where this is when we play games, but this is where I just want to sit down and have a chat with you all. Maybe you can tell us something about the new LMG. Not today. Today is not a news with stream, but I am planning to tell you about things soon, TM. But it'll probably be after vacation where we'll do something big in terms of what's coming. Oh, I just saw the message from Dilly. I want to get the year one exclusive rewards like the gold gloves, but I have all the DLCs and they don't want to pay for year one pass. Do you think the team will be able to give players who bought all the year one items together separately the year one rewards? That might be something support could help you with. Have you tried to ask support to see if they will be able, because we might be able to manually add that, being able to verify that you own all of them. But hello, cool, LOL. Welcome to the YouTube chat. Need to be down for you out with devs? Good, good. You think the blogs were a good way to show that there's still work on going on? Well, they'll mostly be empty. It shows that there's still interaction with the game from the dev side. Yeah, like, I like that side of it. I'm more worried about, like, there's the counterpoint of the people who's like, oh, but you're telling me nothing. What's the point? Spend this effort on, like, the game. Like, a good example of that is the current teaser that you may or may not have seen. We posted it yesterday, where we're doing a collaboration with The Division 2. But I saw so many comments, and obviously it's not all negative. I'm not saying that it is. It's been pretty mixed. I would say more positive probably than negative, but there are people who are like, you know, why would you not spend energy on improving the game? And I mean, we are spending energy on improving the game. I don't see how this collab isn't doing that, but you know, there's always people who try to see the worst in everything. And yes, Nick, we're down to definitely keeping the news with devs whenever we have actual news to share. It's just easier because now you can see, you know, all right, it's a heist with devs. If you only care about the news, then that's totally fair. Maybe you're not interested in tuning in today. Yeah, I saw that too, the What Mage, where it was people like, you know, 2 dying games working together, and you know, you got the handshake meme. I love it. Smart Dangerous Jimbo mask coming. You know, it's funny you should be asking that because I've been, because I stream on my personal account as well, and I've been streaming, I did Balatro recently, and I have a lot of people who's like, Payday, friends of Jimbo when? Maybe we should make that happen. It would definitely be cool to reach out to see if they're up for it at least. The last days were so dry without a Payday stream used. Yeah, I know, it was quite dry a little bit, again, up until yesterday with the collab happening. But yes, we have things cooking. Just because it's quiet does not mean, you know, nothing's happening. Instead of weekly, how about 2 weeks per blog post? That could definitely be a good compromise, yeah. Either that or once per month could be it. But, oh, so, CF Finar, I don't know, I probably butchered your name, I'm sorry, but what's the newest teaser? So, if you're just tuning in, you may not have seen it, because I think we only posted it really on Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram. It's just a teaser, so we're not like blown it that hard out yet. But we have teased, it's like a very short video. I'm just gonna see if I can actually pull it up. Because we are doing a collaboration with The Division 2. Let me find a tab that I can like screen share for you here. Because I mean, it's not that long of a video, so you could probably also search it up yourself, but... Oh, that is our pin post for latest update. I'm looking for this. This is what I want to show you. We can zoom in a little bit. There. All right. And then let me actually... Can I get that up here? All right. I'm going to try to use this. The music's going to temporarily stop. I'm going to put my water bottle out of the way so I can see things. Let me see. Can I use this one? That should work. All right. So if I do this is our Blue Sky account. And this is something that we posted just yesterday. Okay, sound is on. I don't know if there's sound on the thing. It's not that important with the sound. I'm gonna play it. All right, ready? Yeah, it's not playing the sound. But that's it. That's it. There's a little bit of music in there. It's not super important if you didn't hear it. Yeah, this is on Blue Sky. It's also on X. It's also on Instagram. It was posted at 6 p.m. yesterday. So a bit later than what we usually do, but it's primarily The Division that have been running this one. So we made sure to coordinate with their posting time here. So hi Nexus, I am doing good. A quick question, didn't mean caps. Is this a one-sided or is Payday getting something also? You know, it's funny you should ask that. Hang on, let me hop on back to our account. We have this, because a lot of people have been asking that. And you know, unfortunately or fortunately, I guess depending on how you're looking at it, this is something that is only going to be happening over in The Division 2. So they're gonna have the content, they're gonna have the mask, they're gonna have some outfits. there's not going to be anything in-game for Payday 3. You know, we have enough things to work on right now. We have a lot of things cooking. We did not currently, at least, have the resources to also do something for the Vision. I would love to do that in the future, though. So for now, at least for this collaboration, it's going to be happening over in the Division 2. So definitely stay tuned. You can see the date here, July 15th. Yeah, that's when we're going to know more about exactly what is happening here. But yeah, all right, I'm going to hop back on over here. So yeah, if you missed it, it's there. But yeah, it's been a lot of, oh god, I see one of the comments, July 15th, 2020. That's a few years ago. Yeah, I'd also definitely want value on the collab. So the good thing is though, like, it might not be obvious to the players, but like for us, at least this is still good value because, you know, it brings more attention to Payday. Hopefully people will now maybe pick up Payday 3 as well. You know, it's on sale during the Steam Summer Sale if you haven't gotten it yet. Hazard will be able to get a roadmap for the next few months, like a medic bag, or are you still waiting to finish the last one before making a new one? I would love to give you a roadmap like that. Currently, I would not expect one. Right now, it's a bit tricky because, like, while the team is working on a lot of things, we have a mandatory kind of office closure that is about to happen. So last 2 weeks of July is the entire office closes, and the reason for that is that we have a lot of passionate people working at Starbreeze. So we used to not have this, but then people would take time off and they would feel like they would be missing something, or they would still be checking work channels and all of that during their vacation, meaning people essentially didn't properly take a vacation. So because of that, HR decided that, you know, we're gonna basically force you all to disconnect for at least 2 weeks every year. So for 2 weeks, the office closes. So no one has to, like, feel like they need to check in or on emails or Slack or whatever to, like, you know, see what's going on, and they can be able to fully relax and actually have vacation and then come back being more recharged, energized, and, you know, to be able to continue working afterwards. Will Payday 3 come to PC? Payday 3 is already on PC, I would hope. It's on Steam on Epic Games, at least. I don't know if maybe you use a different one. I believe it's also on the Windows Store, or the Microsoft Store, I believe is the actual name of it. It's all over there. So, on those 3 platforms at least, on PC, Payday 3 is available. I don't think we are like GOG or any of those. Hi Nerfic, where am I, Almir? So bad news. I got some bad news for you. Almir has left Starbreeze, but he's still streaming over on the Almir_gaming channel. So go hang out with him over there. But you'll have to suffer with me now, me and Hawa. All right, taking over the ropes. Yeah, the parents have left home, now the kids play on Discord. Exactly, Costa, exactly. So hi, Smoking, I am doing great, thank you. I've seen that he's posted the video on Payday 3 story, and by judging on, like, the thumbnail and stuff, I'll probably agree with it, but I still need to actually watch it. And yes, we still need our fake beards. Yeah, he's probably doing some oil, the biggest of oil. Yeah, it's funny you should say that, actually, because Almir and I are still planning our own collab where we're going to be doing big oil, but it's going to be after vacation, so I'll have to get back to you on exactly when that is going to happen. So, you know, Almir's still around, he's still a fan, but he's probably not going to be on this stream anymore. And yeah, exactly, you're going to be suffering. Yeah, we should all continue the heist for Almir, exactly, a zombie killer, exactly. Personally, I think when it comes to news with dev streams, more similar to the one with Andreas would be good. One dev playing and one focusing on comments and giving news. Yeah, exactly. I really love that format. And I'm glad you do as well, because that is something, like I mentioned at the start of the stream, in case you're tuning in a little bit later, I am now basically going to sit down and, like, come up with a proposal of what I want streaming to look like for us going forward, and this is where I want your input as well. It could involve anything from, like, you know, should we monetize? Should we give you emotes? and, you know, stuff like that. And, you know, what kind of content do we want to host? How often do we stream? Like, do we have, like, special events maybe every so often? Like, for example, there has been, you know, the unofficial Payday Community Day. Maybe we take that on for real, and, like, every first Friday of the month, we do, like, a big community stream or something. I don't know. Stuff like that is what I need to figure out, and I would love to hear your input on all of these questions. And I know no puppy cam on the official streams. Hey, there's a suggestion. If you want to see puppy cam on official streams, maybe we can make that happen. You hope secretly in the Starbreeze Studios that the jukebox is still a feature in Payday 3's future. There's a lot of things that we're cooking, and I cannot wait to tell you more about them. Maybe jukebox is one of them. Maybe. Romeo asks, hey Liz, would you please include offline play in the next update, possibly included with a jukebox, and my life is yours. I might even buy every DLC because of the update if it ever happened. So I can tell you it's definitely not going to be the next update. However, that does not mean it's not going to happen. But we are cooking some things for the next update. Have I played the next heist yet? Yes, I've played it once, but that was still before Party Powder came out, so I need to go back and play it again, see how much it's changed. But it should be, it's shaping up, it's shaping up. Will we get news in the next update this month? Hang on, that is a very hard text color to read. I can't read the name. It says Sewerage Rodent, I think. So I wouldn't expect anything this month, mostly because it is currently the 9th of July, as I am streaming. I don't know, you know, for those of you watching this live right now, it's gonna be the same for you. But the entire office closes down after the 18th. That is a week and a half away. A lot of people are already on vacation. So, you know, while things have happened, I wouldn't expect anything big announcement-wise coming this side of the vacation. However, once we're back, you know, get ready in August is all I'm gonna say. Friggin' Trooper says, love your game, please don't leave it. We are not planning on leaving it. If anything, we're doing the opposite right now. AK is letting us invest more back into Payday 3, and Payday 2 as well. Like, he understands the value of this franchise, so it is an exciting time to be a Payday fan. Nixie asks, do you guys sometimes play Heist super early, for example, with unfinished textures, etc.? Yes, I tend to sometimes avoid that personally, but we do have, once every week, we do have playtests for, like, the entire Payday team, where, like, the entire Payday team sits down and plays Payday. We also have, this is something that's recently started, so I don't remember, I think it's also once every month or so. We have Payday, where basically it's one day where everyone in the company is, you know, gets time booked out to, like, we play Payday, we play the PUBG collaboration that we're working on, we play Baxter, like, we basically play test all of our projects, and then everyone gets to, you know, focus and sit down and submit feedback on every single project, regardless of which one they're working on. So yes, playtesting is something that we do fairly often, which is good, because I've been here since the Overkill's The Walking Dead days, and playtesting was not as much of a thing in our culture back then, and you know what happened as a result. I'm not saying that it's only because of lack of playtesting, but you know, it's just part of, like, it's just how people feel about everything, you know? Like, it might be hard to explain to someone who doesn't work in the games industry, but there's a huge difference from someone who's like, you know, now we play our game, versus before when people are like, I don't want to play our game, you know? You still have a public test build for Payday 3 just to try new things? I know you can't, but it was still really cool. Yeah, I know Blue Shell Redux. So that's something that, like, personally, I would love for us to do public playtests. However, right now, with the current, like, resources we have available, I think it's too much work. I would love for that to change, though. I would love for us to, like, you know, get Payday 3 into a better place, be able to invest more into the game, which would also then means that some of that investment can go towards, we now have the capacity, or, you know, because it's not only just running, like, a public test build, like the work into, like, separating a build that can go out to the public early, but if you do something like that, like, I also wanted to see us be able to, A, take on gather feedback, you know, from, like, how this early look is going, and B, actually be able to do something about said feedback. Because I think if we just do, like, a public testing, or, like, a public test, and then that's it, like, we don't listen or, like, do anything with, like, feedback that may come in, then, I mean, it's nice for you to see what's going on, but I feel like that removes a big part of the point. And I don't know if you agree, but okay. Nerfik, apparently I've missed your question. Sorry. What was your question? I'm gonna try to scroll up and see if I can see one. I'm scrolling. I'm not finding a comment. Hang on. I think I've missed it completely. I'm not seeing it. I am so sorry. Alright. Yeah, I cannot read that name because of the Cyrillic alphabet, but it says, please fix preset weapon jacket and pant pick his. Yeah, so we've had an issue now with the newest DLC, or the newest update, where if you buy any DLC after the newest update, it doesn't give you everything that you're supposed to have. And that is obviously a problem that we need to fix. Okay, so there we go. Nerfik has reposted the question. I'm getting kicked out of the lobby during the game, and when will you fix this issue in Payday 3? There's not really a lot of information in that specific one to really address that. Like, do you get a specific error message? If it's other players kicking you, for example, then not a whole lot we can do about that specifically. But if it's a technical issue, like network or something, if it's not your local network, then maybe it's something else we need to look into. But yeah, please do re-ask questions if I miss them. There's a lot of messages that I think I read like 1 in 10 messages. I'm trying to read more, but there's a lot. And yeah, there's also, I think Twitch in general just doesn't let you repost messages. Not immediately, that is. Queen Jizzy Love though asks, I've been wondering lately, will outfits be in Twitch drops alongside masks at some point? So funny you should ask. That is actually something else that I will be working on very soon, because when my initial pitch for the Twitch drops, like we had planned out, my first pitch was like year 1, and then I guess basically year 2 for my second pitch. However, we're now getting close to the end of the year 2 pitch, so I need to, like, you know, start working on what should year 3 Twitch drops look like for Payday 3. Outfits are probably not gonna make it in there, purely from the fact that, like, when I first started working on this, I asked the art team for like a breakdown on how much it costs to, you know, make a mask, make a sticker, make, you know, a weapon. I asked all of these questions, and outfits are expensive. Like, I could, you know, put my budget into like an outfit, but then maybe we'll do like 1 Twitch drop per year or 2 at most, versus, you know, masks and some other things, which allows us to do one, I don't know, maybe every month. So in theory, yes, we could have outfits. However, they're so expensive that would mean that we do Twitch drops a lot less. Oh, Mr. Leviathan, asking here on YouTube because I can, but does the team ever go back and play Payday the Heist, or, you know, Payday 1? Not in work hours at least, but honestly, now that you mention it, that's probably something that I should suggest that we do as part of like the play day that we have, the once a month where we play every project. I think it would be good to also include just taking some time to play Payday the Heist and Payday 2. I actually rewatched Heat, you know, slightly related but also not. I actually rewatched Heat with my community this weekend, and I think that was also something that could be really valuable for the company to do, just have like a movie night where we watch like some of the OG movies that inspired Payday, because I think that could be really helpful to keep setting, you know, the right tone for Payday 3 in the future as well. Okay, Dilly J is asking it a second time, so I probably missed it. That is what made you guys pick PUBG over any other games that are like Fortnite or Warzone. So exactly why we did that that's above my pay grade. I wasn't involved at that stage where we're discussing it. What could have happened is that maybe they offered more money, or I don't know. There's a reason though. That's all I can really tell you. I only really came in, we're like, hey, we're doing this, and I'm like, okay, cool. And I know some of the people working on it too are doing some really great work over there, and I'm very excited when we can share more about what they've been cooking. Oh, okay, Nixios has a repost. God, I'm missing a lot. How about BTS with devs? How you guys work showing early builds of older heists? You know what? That is something that I've talked about that I wanted to do as part of my whole, like, how do we do streaming proposal for the future? One of the things that I've talked about is, like, I brought up my podcast idea again. For those of you who know, like, I've had this podcast idea that I sometimes bring up where it would be cool to bring people in who maybe aren't comfortable on camera, but also, like, instead of focusing on, like, what's new to Payday and what's coming, maybe we can talk about, like, something more generic in a sense. And by generic, I mean, for example, what if a level designer comes on and talk about, like, the general how does it work when you're designing a level from Payday 3? Like, where does it start? How does the pitch look like? And like, how do you develop that into like a full-fledged heist without going like, this is what it looked like for X, like this is how it looked like for Party Powder, for example. Like, it doesn't have to be that detailed, just like kind of a general, this is what the process looks like. I think people would find that cool personally. We've not really done that before. But, you know, I still need to actually convince, you know, to do this idea, again, using level design as an example, I would need a level designer to actually agree and come with me to talk about that, because I don't know what that process looks like. I'm glad people seem to love that idea, though. Yeah, just do it and we'll see. But yeah, that's basically my plan for streaming, is that I want to come up with these cool ideas. I would love to hear from you on your cool ideas. Let's try them out and see what works and what doesn't work. Gustavo should implement some of the cool music that was used specifically for Payday 3 titles and heist music from Prototype Payday 3. I agree. It's like, it's not, you know, full disclosure, it's not Gustavo himself that implements it. He does make the music though, but, you know, the developers actually implement it. But still, I do agree. He's made a lot of cool music for us. The one that I use in my intro for the stream is actually a track that he made for our appearance at Gamescom. But I like the track so much that I asked if I could use it on stream, and I could. But I agree. Again, going back to the jukebox idea, I know people have suggested it. I think it would be really cool that if we could bring jukebox to Payday 3 and also just then include a whole bunch of like various track into that. You know, both the original tracks are already in the game, but some new stuff as well. Yes, it was a new track. I've used it before, but obviously, you know, it's been a while since I was streaming. So it's been a while since you heard it, probably. Alright, I missed a Commander CH question as well. Okay, since grinding above renown 1600 is not possible with an exploit, are there any chances to properly uncap the limit now? I know there have been some rumors about increasing the cap. That's still a discussion we need to have. Right now, the honest answer is that I don't know. But I do know you have sent me the info on getting above that, and I know some other people have reported that as well, so we'll see what will the outcome be. And yeah, buyable heist favorites, that's another one that is like super popular to request. Hopefully, I would love to see that come in. Could I try and include a modification for the task 12 in game to pick between semi-auto and full auto? That's something we'll have to check with the weapon people on. I think, if I remember, did Alex talk about this? I've had Alex on here before. I'm trying to remember if he said anything about that. I know he talked about akimbo. I don't remember if he talked about that. But we'll have to bring on a weapon artist or like a technical artist or something, and they will be able to answer more detail with like how much work would that be and how feasible is it. All right, any other messages that I might have missed? Question about availability. When will Payday 3 be available in the CIS? Or will it be unavailable for a long time? I might need clarification here. What is the CIS? I'm presuming it might be like code for like a region or something. Chat, I might need your help. I don't know what CIS is. Can we get stealth jump crouching back? Sliding just makes noise and there's no perk to silence the slide. You know, we are doing skills 2.0. Soon TM. I don't know if that might change that. Also, oh my god, Nixie, stay safe. Nixie just posted that there's a fire alarm. Definitely stay safe. Hopefully it is a false alarm. Ooh, I love this idea. Dilly asks, can we please be able to zip tie doors to stop people from entering rooms? That might require a bit of rebalancing in terms of zip ties, because right now they're infinite, but I do love this idea. Oh, CIS is like Russia, Kazakhstan, etc. Okay, yes, I had a feeling it was like a regional area. The Commonwealth of Independent States. Thank you for clarifying. I am not entirely sure. I know some things have changed on that front, because obviously we've changed publishers recently, and by changed, I mean we're moving away from Plan and we're moving over to self-publish. I know some things have already happened there with the game being available. I know that was something that kind of just happened because like I guess Steam automatically made changes based on like the publisher settings or something. I don't know. But you might want to check if it is available or not, and if not, we'll definitely look into what we can do. Yeah, like Helda said, it's been available in Russia. That started happening kind of by itself when we took over publishing. Can we please get an inspect keybind for weapons? You don't like bringing up a wheel every time to fidget my gun. Ooh, yeah, so you basically mean like a shortcut then, right, Karetica? So like instead of like opening map and wheel and then picking inspect, that you can just press like, I don't know, Z or something. And then you just inspect it. That's an interesting. We'll see if we can make that happen. That should be easy enough. I say, as I'm not, you know, not a programmer. I don't know exactly how easy it would be, but that sounds like it should be easy to do. So we'll see if we can make that happen. Gibby Gaming asks, what was the LMG type weapon that was shown in the Smash and Grab trailer? Wouldn't you like to know? The Watch Mage asks, have the team been happy with the summer sales of Payday 3 and its DLC? You know, I'm not sure actually. So I was actually away last week, so I don't know if any of the numbers have been shared yet on like how it's gone. We probably will look at that. Like Steam summer sale ends now tomorrow, so you know, if you haven't picked up your deals yet, you still have 24 hours and a little bit more to actually catch the summer sale. But once it is over, we will review and see how it went. So I'm sorry, the official Lucifer, I see that. Can anyone else see my messages? Yeah, sorry, I might have missed it. Again, I miss a lot of messages. And especially if it's, I see people saying if it's about future content. Yeah, I usually try to answer it regardless if I see it, but if it's about future content, it's probably gonna be, you know, an answer / non-answer. I'm not gonna be able to tell you anything specific that isn't already public knowledge about future stuff. Nightback says, I think generally they're working on making it available, but the internet providers, governments, and countries around these have been blocking things that the Payday 3 uses. Yeah, that was a thing too, because I know when the game was suddenly available for sale in Russia, there was still a problem with like the Nebula account and stuff, so there's a lot of things to work out. Yeah, exactly, NDA. Oh, there we go, the official Lucifer. Okay, so this might have been a repost from what you tried to ask before. It says the Division is getting Jiro. Does that mean Payday 3 will get Jiro or a player like Jiro? There's no like automatic this means that, because the Division collab is not just Payday 3 x the Division, it is the Payday, the whole franchise. And as you may have caught, you know, we want to make sure that we can invest properly into the Payday franchise, not just Payday 3, but of course also Payday 3. So, you know, it just made sense to be able to loan out some of our original characters to Division when they wanted to do something. It does not automatically mean they will be in Payday 3, maybe one day. But there's no like automatic, oh, he's in the Division now, that means he's coming to Payday. There's no automatic thing that we can choose to do it, but there's no automation. Guys, great idea. Twitch chat plays one heist in Payday. How would that work, Rednecker Thanu? I would love to know how that would work. When are the new characters? We haven't currently announced any new characters for Payday 3. But if you're playing the Division 2, you're about to get Sangris and Jiro. I believe those were in the teaser, right? Yeah. Sangris and Jiro in the Division. Or outfits for them. They're masks, not them actually as a character. Or at least I believe so. I've not actually played the Division 2. I'm about to fix that, but I've not actually played the Division 2. I played a lot of Division 1. I believe I completed the Division 1, but I've not gotten into Division 2 yet. Excalibur asks, can we get a Division-themed outfit in Payday 3 as a part of the collab? Not this time. This time it is entirely on the Division side, but hopefully in the future I would love to do another one where we're going to be able to add more stuff to Payday 3 as well. Why are you doing only one-sided collabs? It feels pointless for someone who doesn't play those games like The Division. That is a very fair question. I mean, I don't know exactly how much I can say about this, but usually a deal like this is never like truly one-sided. I'm trying to make sure that I don't say too much here, so just thinking about my phrasing. But yeah, so maybe we're getting something out of this, even if it's not in-game. I'm gonna leave it at that. But it does allow us to invest more into Payday 3, which is a good thing. So even though there's not going to be any Division content right now in Payday 3, this collab is still a good thing for Payday fans. We control moving forward, left, right, and back, shooting, crouching, and so while y'all guide us. It would be funny though, because I know like there are software out there that actually can read button inputs and like put it into your game. I don't know if that would work for something like Payday though. It would be very funny. Yeah, no, I agree, Bullshell Redux. I do wish there was like actual content and stuff happening in Payday 3 as well, but there will be, you know, we're working on our own content. It's just not gonna be the Division branded. Are there any chance that there might be ports of Payday the Heist for Switch 2, PS5, and Xbox Series S and X, and for Crazy Mobile? What is Crazy Mobile? But I would not expect Payday the Heist to get a port. I don't even know. I mean, I guess we still have the source code around somewhere. But I believe Payday the Heist is a bit of a tricky one. I think we technically have a publisher on that. So we would probably need to coordinate with them and stuff. I think more likely, maybe we would, like, you know, Payday the Heist remake, and then that could be available for more platforms. But that is also, you know, big undertaking. And, you know, this is not a confirmation of anything. I'm just speculating. I was like, hi, Neil. I see you. Good to see you. I think it was Sony, yeah. And I think they changed... Maybe they changed... I don't know. Payday the Heist was before my time, so I don't know exactly how the setup was. But yeah, Payday the Heist was indeed... It was only on PS3 and Steam. But yeah, since it was only on PS3, you might be right that it was Sony. We have Payday X The Undertaker crossover. What would that look like? The Undertaker, that's the wrestler, right? I'm not a wrestling person, but I think I know that name. Unless it's something else. Yeah, one of the 9 has already in Payday 3, just remake the other 8, and there we go, Payday the Heist remake. That is also an option. Maybe we just, you know, put them into Payday 3 instead. So God, I was actually intending on playing today, but I noticed we're already been going for like 40 minutes and it's 20 minutes left. So I think this is gonna be a chatting stream. I hope that's okay, unless you really want me to play. When's the maid outfit with the cat ears Payday Twitter man promised us? I might need to have a conversation with Payday Twitter man. I'm not aware of this promise. I'll have to check. Okay, one last question. Payday 3 custom heist that is similar to Well Portal, but have a limited amount of cash and can be placed down. I don't... Custom heist. Like, when I hear custom heist, that kind of makes me think of, you know, different era, but Amnesia... Amnesia The Dark Descent's custom stories. Basically the tools for you to make your own, like, you know, campaign and stuff in Amnesia. Is that what you have in mind for, like, people to be able to make custom heist, or is it something else? What is this game? Payday 3? Is it even out? I heard you guys send some people to prison just to play it. That is true, Tactato. That is true. We did, in fact, send people to prison just to play Payday 3. God, that was a good time. I had so much fun in that prison. Even though I'm not there in the video, I promise you I was there. Paul Harrison asks, I think you may have already answered this, but will there be more smash and grab jobs? We actually not talked about that today, so I'm happy to revisit the topic. But as of right now, there is no other smash and grab jobs confirmed. However, and Andreas has said this before too, we would like to do more smash and grabs. So, you know, we've been monitoring closely the feedback that we have been getting, and it seems like all of you, or a lot of you, would be up for more smash and grab jobs. So, you know, that's something for us to consider as we keep working on the things we got cooking up for the rest of the year, or next year, of course, as well. You lost your old PS3, so you would love if Payday the Heist was ported to PS5. Lots of old classic PS games are being ported over, so I don't see why it can't happen. I mean, maybe. I don't know anything about that, to be perfectly honest. Like, I don't know what goes into, like, porting a game and the technical side of it, so... But it would be cool if we could do that I can agree with. And yes, we did. We had not only Mario on a top hat, we also had Grouse. It was really cool. That was my first time meeting Grouse in person. Oh, actually, I think it was my first time meeting Mario too, because I remember when I asked him, because when I reached out and asked him, like, you know, would you be willing to come here? Because, like, I watched a lot of his videos and stuff, and I was like, you would probably be required to show your face. And I was really worried about asking this, like, you might have to show your face. Is that okay? And he was like, fuck yeah, I don't care. Like, I'm not actually, like, I'm not keeping my face a secret. It's just, like, he wasn't too fussed on, like, face cam, so he was, like, totally down for that. Thank you so much, Lucifer. I appreciate it. Has the team ever considered limited time events? I've always had the idea in the back of my head, an event with all modifiers applied, but 6 heisters instead of 4. Ooh. Yeah, because it's like, we've had limited events, but, like, you know, events in the loose sense of, like, we've had modifiers on, where, like, you would get, I think it was double cash and double weapon XP are the ones that we've been able to successfully do. I wanted double infamy points as well. and not as relevant now when, you know, people are at really high levels and stuff, but back then, like, we wanted to do that as well, but that it's not something that has worked yet, but I do hope that we can do more of that in the future and like actually do, you know, proper events, not just like, you know, enable or disable a little flag to, yeah, double C-stack. You know, technically, Blue Shell Redux, we did talk about this actually, because when I was talking to Lucky about like, you know, his community day initiative and stuff, because there was a period of time where we tried to line up these bonuses for his community days. And we did, you know, say that double cash is kind of double C-stack. Like, it's not actually double C-stack, but if you earn double cash, you can buy double the amount of C-stack, so kind of, you know? Any new info about the heist modifiers? I don't change like in months. Not currently. Hopefully we will be able to share something about the heist modifiers soon, but yes, we're aware of the heist modifiers not having changed for a while. And Mask Mania as well is another one that, yeah, I wish I had more news for you yet. It's tricky to answer things, especially now that summer vacations are like right around the corner. But we're aware, and hopefully we have some good news for you soon. Hazard as is Starbreeze agreeing with the statement from Video Games Europe in relation to stop killing games? So that's a good question. Funny you should bring this up. So I don't think I have the right to speak for Starbreeze as an entity when it comes to this. However, I do believe that a lot of the developers, at least I personally, I can speak from my personal experience. Yes, I agree with it. I think that that is something that would be really good. I think that would, like, the games industry in general has been suffering under a lot of, you know, shady practices, and like, I'm not necessarily saying that shutting down a game itself is shady. Like, there can be a lot of valid reasons for it, but I also think that it's completely reasonable to ask that, like, you know, players are either allowed to set up their own servers or like do something to make sure that the game is still playable. Like, it doesn't have to be like the game in its entirety. Like, I know leaderboards, for example, might be really tricky to still keep hosting after like a game is shut down, but like maybe that's okay that you no longer have leaderboards, but your game is still playable. Like, I mean, take Overkill's The Walking Dead, for example. That's, you know, a good example of this, that even though we can't sell the game anymore, the game is still playable. Like, everyone who bought it, you still have access to it, and I don't think that's gonna change unless Steam shuts down, because I believe it's used as Steam matchmaking. So I guess if we on one day get to like the point where Valve shuts down, then yeah, we might have a bigger problem, but Diligent asked, but one thing you asked earlier is if you own the content from the Year 1 pass but don't have the Year 1 pass, will we be able to get the bonus rewards from support? I'm honestly not sure. It will be worth asking. I think they will be able to help you better. Personally, I do not know. Chat AI, this is a good question here. Any plans for endgame content for high-level players? So, the short answer, and very unsatisfying answer, is yes, there is. However, what that is and when that is going to be actually available in-game is, you know, that's a trickier one to answer. But I know I had Andreas on the stream for, God, it's been like a couple months by now, I think. But if you can find it, go back and watch it, because he did say that, you know, step one for us is going to be like improving the new game, new player experience, which is what we have started working on now with the Smash and Grabs, for example. That is a step towards that, but we are also aware that we also need something for the veterans, the people who have put so many hours into the game. You know, we have Commander CH in chat, for example, and a lot of others who have hit max renown. Like, what is there left to grind for? We're aware that this is a problem and something that we need to address, but we cannot say exactly what we're doing about it yet, or when we're doing about it. Yeah, exactly, that's the one. It was a Party Powder before the release of Party Powder, because we were talking about Party Powder Heist there, and Andreas was with me. And honestly, it's a really great stream. I definitely recommend watching it. I mentioned it before, but I think that would be helpful to have a few minutes at the start of streams answering questions from Reddit. Ooh, I don't think I've seen this suggestion before, but that is an interesting one. Reddit is always an interesting one for me, because I know, like, in general, we do have quite a bit of a presence on Reddit, but I know also a lot of times Reddit tends to be like the one place people can feel like I can go to Reddit to, you know, voice my opinion, because the devs aren't going to be there, not going to be able to censor me, so it's both separate and not at the same time. I like being on Reddit and being able to like talk to people, but I don't know, maybe we could incorporate it into streams. Alright, just mentioned before Operation Panic Bag in the dev stream. Okay, I might have missed Melee revamp, Rednecker, Thanamas. I don't know anything about that right now, but if Melee revamp is something that people want. You mean like you want like an actual Melee system and not just because right now it's basically, it's not necessarily crowd control, but it's not like Melee. It's not meant to like a damage thing, if that makes sense. Yeah, Moonessa says, that's why you can't predict the future, as we don't know when it's coming. Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, there's a lot of things we're working on, and some of those are very, you know, vague still. Some of them are more tangible, some of them are still very vague, but I do hope that we can get to the point where, like, we can start talking about the more tangible stuff, or maybe even some of the vague stuff when it's still really early, and you can have a chance to, you know, offer feedback and input and potentially change it. Yo, Simon the Packet, welcome on in. No news today. Today's a heist with Davis stream, so there's no news, but we've been just chatting. I'm just trying to answer a question. I was supposed to play it today, but here we are. We're 50 minutes in, and I still haven't even booted my game, so. Yeah, exactly, like you're saying there. Melee is more of a get away from me button, 100%. Or like, get down on the ground button is what I tend to use it for. Shadow Raid remake, please. Oh my god, same though, Karetica. Like, I am such like a stealth enjoyer. I used to be. When I played Payday 2, like, you know, pre-Payday 3, I love stealth. Shadow Raid was like my favorite heist, but now it feels so weird to say that because I really struggle stealthing in Payday 2 now because the stealth like changes in Payday 3. It just makes stealth so much more satisfying in Payday 3, and in, like, you know, I want to be able to do more things maskless in Payday 2. So I will definitely love to see more of like some really good stealth heists come back in Payday 3. And yes, the puppies are doing well, thank you. But yeah, I'm glad you've been appreciating the talking stream. I haven't seen a single comment. Again, maybe I missed it if it was there, but I haven't seen a single comment has been like, boot up the game already. I think you're perfectly happy with the chatting. Hi, Carrie, how's it going? You need to see Clover in a maid outfit. You know, now you might have me convinced. You know, involve Clover into it, and maybe we have a deal. We'll see. But Shami says, on the topic of heist ideas, please can we get a museum? Oh, I love that. I really want, like, things that I want is, you know, Shadow Raid remake. And again, this is I want, not the company, but I want this. I will be campaigning for this. Shadow Raid remake. And like, I want not necessarily the Golden Grin to come back. I think it would be really cool if we could get a brand new casino. Like a really good casino heist, which has like the same kind of energy that Golden Grin has, but it's, you know, a different one. It's gonna be like remade with like really good ways to use like the new stealth mechanics for Payday 3. I think that would be really cool. Your clown is here this week? Hell yeah. I'm glad. I hope you have a good one. Yeah, Slaughterhouse remake is one that I see a lot too, and I think if I remember correctly, that was Almir's favorite too, right? I think he was campaigning for Slaughterhouse. No, please, no casinos. You've been doing all the work while everyone else is hitting the slots. But isn't that part of the okay? Part of the fun is not doing all the work while people are hitting the slots, but part of the fun is hitting the slots for sure. Yeah, Silver Grin Casino, exactly. Oh, wouldn't it be, you know what, we're gonna do better than Golden Grin, right? Wouldn't it be Platinum Grin? It's not gonna be the cheap knockoff, it's gonna be new and improved. Yeah, oh god, Piro for yes, we need to know what heist is my big oil. I think I'm gonna be really boring with this, but I think for me, it's like Goat Simulator. Like, it's you know, the one everyone hates. Or Lab Rats. Lab Rats on DSOD? Oh, I absolutely cannot. Hazard asks, well, we're gonna stream with the new SEO answering questions again. Hopefully. I definitely would love to bring him back. Like I mentioned that, I'm gonna go over it one more time. We're getting close to the end. But I mentioned at the start of the stream that, you know, now that Almir is away, streaming is gonna be my new baby, and I kind of want to reimagine the format a bit. I want to like revamp. Potentially we're going to do a rebrand. I'm currently planning to potentially rebrand in like September for around the anniversary of Payday 3. I want to do more events. I want to do more interviews. I want to do more cool things. Like maybe we can get you some emotes, Payday themed emotes to use Which, speaking of, do you guys actually want to see emotes? I guess it's more so. I mean, Twitch definitely can. I think we can get emotes on YouTube as well. The Beaver weapon charm one? Oh god, I'd love to see that rockin'. I will absolutely love to see that. Yeah, emotes would be dope. Okay, so it seems like more people are saying yes on emotes. Cause then I'm gonna need to know, chat, do we have a good emote artist in the community? Because I would love to be able to commission like a Payday emote artist to make us some emotes. But I don't actually know who. You like to see sub bombs in this chat? Yeah, I need to learn more about how that works over on YouTube as well. I'm not super well versed with the YouTube streaming side. I'm part of like the incredible basic going live reading chat. That's what I got. What will the Payday 3 updates be like from August to September? Will we have a roadmap, and will there be new heists after the one you're working on, or offline mode? Not much I can share about that yet. We will see, but you know, August is when the team's gonna be back. We're gonna be reinvigorated from a little holiday break. Carry your iron. To be fair, that is a great emote. But yeah, so stay tuned in August, I would say, for more news about what we're cooking for the rest of the year. But for streaming, I can tell you that I'm planning a bit of a rebrand, and but it's still very much a work in progress, and we'll see if it goes to plan. But I have thoughts, I have ambitions. I'm meeting with Hawa tomorrow also to get her input on everything. That is true. We do have emotes on the official Discord server as well, but I think some of them are not made by us. So I want to make sure that like we have emotes that are like, you know, ours. I don't want to steal other people's art and stuff, even though they are based on our IP. Yeah, gonna end year 2 with a bang. Hopefully. Hopefully. We got some stuff cooking. Oh, what is my favorite weapon in Payday 3? Okay, so this is gonna sound really cheesy now that it's been buffed, but I've been playing with the FSA since syntax error. I've been playing with the FSA, and not necessarily because it's been good, but A, I just love shotguns. So when the FSA was added, I just, you know, I was all over that immediately. And Elijah, one of the people who it was in our creative team, he came up with like a color scheme for my FSA. So like the color scheme of my FSA matches my mask really well. So yes, it's buffed now, so now it's also a very OP gun, but it didn't used to be, and I still loved it. So yeah, there's my answer. Yep, shotguns are now strong enough to kill snipers from range. Yep, they 100% are. But yeah, FSA right now is busted. More emos, better weapon inspections. Ooh, I'm curious what you mean by better weapon inspections. Do you mean for like, because a lot of them now have the unique inspections. Do you mean like everyone should have that? Or is it like something about the current ones you don't really like? Yeah, now the entire chat is talking about FSA being OP and the nerfing. It does. It kind of does. It's a high hotline. I saw you in there. Yeah, I agree, Moonistic. Like, I've been using FSA since syntax error. I did not necessarily personally feel like it needed a buff. I was perfectly content with it. But yes. Oh, some of the secondaries don't have inspections or unique inspections. I was actually not aware of that, but I do believe that the animation team has a goal that every weapon should have an animation. But maybe the secondaries are still, you know, pending. Well, yeah, I've seen this asked a few times. I'm gonna address it again before we end stream. But any news on offline mode? There's currently no news on offline mode. If I did have news about offline mode, I would love to sit here on a news with devs and tell you all about it. And it sucks that I still don't have anything to share. But unfortunately not. Redwood Oak says, will we get Kimbos again? So I recommend that you go back to check the previous stream where we had oh wait, was it might have been, I don't know if he talked about it when he was visiting Almir, but I also had Alex. Alex is our weapon artist. We talked about the Justicar. And I believe in that same stream, he also talked about Akimbos. So if you're curious about Akimbos, you might want to check that one out. Is work still happening on it at least? Yes. Yes, that it is. Might be more people in chat than in game. You know what? Let's put that to the test. Let's put that to the test. How many people are in chat right now? I actually don't see it. I think... Can I not see it over here? So according to my restream thing, which I don't know if that's accurate, and it just told me I went offline. Well, let's be generous and say we have 200 people watching across both stream, Twitch and YouTube. How many players are? I can only check the public numbers for Payday 3 on Steam, so not going to be able to tell you what it is on consoles. However, I can tell you that there's definitely not more people watching the stream because I see there's 1,631 people in-game on Steam right now for Payday 3. I mean, I would love to have that many viewers on the streams, but not quite yet. Not quite yet. But yeah, we have 3 more minutes of streaming. And I know, right? 1,600. Oh, wait, did we get a raid? Shit, I didn't see that. Yeah, this stream thing does not show me, like, Twitch notifications. But welcome, raiders. Although we're getting ready to end. We usually wrap up here at 5 p.m. Swedish time. But welcome, regardless. Really want more pistols? Yeah, I want more weapons. Definitely want more weapons. Yeah, Deadly Bird says it well. People need to remember that Payday 3 is also on the Xbox app, Epic Games, and on console. Yeah, so PlayStation 5 especially, we're not on Game Pass anymore, so that's not as big as it used to be, but we were on the PlayStation 5. What is it? The PS Plus? I'm not a PlayStation player. What is it called? Like, games? I don't know. It was like a game of the month thing on PS Plus. So everyone who has PS Plus and claimed it, they still have access to it. There you go, PS Plus. Thank you. So we were on PS Plus. There's also a lot of people who claim the Payday 3 when it was available there. It's not the game of the month still, unfortunately. So if you haven't claimed it, you missed it. Sorry to tell you. Yeah, fake games with gold, exactly. Can you tell that I grew up with an Xbox and not a PlayStation? I had PlayStation until PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2 was where it peaked. And then the Xbox 360 came out and I switched to Xbox. I think these days it's a PS Essential. It might be that's what it is. But yeah, a piece of broccoli asks, do you prefer 2 or 3? I'm gonna assume that you're talking about Payday. And honestly, it's a bit tricky right now because I'm currently playing both in my private time. I like Payday 3 for like the gameplay. Like it feels better to play Payday 3. However, I'm an achievement hunter. So I still play Payday 2. And I've created this like roulette wheel where like it'll spin and tell me an achievement to go for, and then I have to go for that achievement, and I find that a lot of fun. Unfortunately, I can't do that with Payday 3. I have every single achievement. More achievements win, am I right? But yeah. Try convincing Starbreeze to return Overdrill to First World Pink in Payday 3. I would love to. I would love to see Overdrill come back. We definitely, we're still cooking a secret. So... Just saying. Also, we're at 5 p.m. Any last minute questions or... Oh, wait, happy birthday? Oh my god. Hubbeach, happy birthday. Hope you had a good one. Is Payday 3 gonna be re-released for the PS2? That would be incredibly funny. I love the, like, not the remakes, but the D-makes. Have you seen those? D-make Payday 3. That'll be funny. When's the next stream? So, probably I will have one more stream next week. So the 16th, we will probably do another stream, and then we will have a break in July because of the summer break. But then we will, you know, kick it back up in August, and I'm very excited for that. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. It is 5:01. It is time, but thank you so much for joining me for an hour of just chatting. You know what, Joycey, since you're asking, next Tainted Telly stream. So if you want to see more of me, but not related to Payday, I will be streaming on my personal channel in 2 hours from now. So you can come on over there and hang out while I will be learning to speedrun some Portal. We also will be playing Payday 3 tomorrow on my personal channel. And that's also where you get my mask. But yes, that is the end for the official stream. Yes, I did say Portal. But yes, that is the end of the official stream, and we will be back here again next week. Thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. And, you know, let me know what you want to see from the streams. I'm going to be working on this now. So, see you soon. All right, bye.